Douglar Politics tomorrow, Tuesday night, 7:30. Douglar Politics. Hope you enjoyed your Easter weekend. Spike, COVID spike, where? Labre, Point 14, Penal, Princestown, Couva, where? Spike, data, testing. What? Wildness in Tobago, drinks flowing, beats flowing, man on man, woman on man, climb, pick up something and pelt it away. No mask, no separation. Where the spike? In Barakwa? That's the science of the PNM. And while all you're studying COVID and Rowley telling all you, when I lock all you down again, nothing for all you, no money, no grant, as if you get anything anyway. Al-Rawi giving his wife brief. No, not jockey shorts, Brief, legal brief. So not only rental, not only outfitting, not only exemption for his son to come and go, not only no ticket for not wearing mask. He giving brief to himself. Well, boy, great is the PNM. All you vote for that. Let them eat. All you is not to eat. You are starving. Let Rowley tell you, let them eat cake. All you eat cake tomorrow night. Douglar Politics tomorrow, Tuesday night, 7:30. Douglar Politics. Hope you enjoyed your Easter weekend. Spike, COVID spike, where? Labre, Point 14, Penal, Princestown, Couva, where? Spike, data, testing. What? Wildness in Tobago, drinks flowing, beats flowing, man on man, woman on man, climb, pick up something and pelt it away. No mask, no separation. Where the spike? In Barakwa? That's the science of the PNM. And while all you're studying COVID and Rowley telling all you, when I lock all you down again, nothing for all you, no money, no grant, as if you get anything anyway. Al-Rawi giving his wife brief. No, not jockey shorts, Brief, legal brief. So not only rental, not only outfitting, not only exemption for his son to come and go, not only no ticket for not wearing mask. He giving brief to himself. Well, boy, great is the PNM. All you vote for that. Let them eat. All you is not to eat. You are starving. Let Rowley tell you, let them eat cake. All you eat cake tomorrow night, Tuesday night, 7:30. We start on time. Archie, Vishnu, get ready. Douglar Politics, Tuesday night, 7:30 p.m.
I deal with facts and information. Politics, this is Douglar Politics, yo. Douglar Politics, listen, Douglar Politics, yeah. Douglar Politics, this is Douglar Politics, yeah. Douglar Politics, this is Douglar Politics. Douglar Politics, this is Douglar Politics, yo. Douglar Politics.
And welcome to Douglar Politics. Archie, Vishnu, right on time. That's what we're talking about. A man asked me just now, Anil, but why you don't forgive Rowley in this critical time? I said, let me tell you something. Number one, my work is to ensure that Keith Rowley does not remain in that position of Prime Minister to wield pain on human beings. I not in no politics for no game. A man asked me yesterday, Anil, when all in the Parliament and the Senate and thing, all let us be brethren and thing, and all let us go and knock glass after. Knock glass. Me ain't want to hear nothing from them. Me ain't want to see them, because there's not no game. When you have policies that are causing children to lose their lives by cutting funding to the Children Life Fund, me ain't want no friend. Me ain't want no arm wrestle. This is not no game. This is not no shoo politics thing here. No, this is not no kiki. This is a serious thing. When children, if you all don't feel for others and you only feel for yourself, well, good for you. But you see me, if somebody child suffering, I just feel like that I think like that is my child. So me, I don't know game with all you. Since I'm on the radio, the PNM have a way. They just try to separate. Remember when kidnappings were big, I on the radio with Sprang Along and Chris. And kidnappings were going rampant back in 2006, 2007 and thing. And I come and some nat boys or something from up in Grandy or some up in where in the east, they had just been kidnapped. And I come and I was fed up because in that 10 days about 11 people that get kidnapped. And kidnapping is a sickening, disgusting crime because it's not only the person who get kidnapped, their loved ones, their family, their granny, their auntie, their nenen, everybody suffering for every minute, not knowing where they are, what they are. And I come on the radio with Sprang Along and I vex and I shouting and I thinking. And they had a PNM caller called Mr. Enterprise. That man called. This 2007, man. He said, Anil, what happened to you? I said, what happened, boss? He said, your child get kidnapped? I said, no. He said, so what you vex for? Now let me tell you something. If that is all your attitude, well, good for all you. But you see, when children don't have an opportunity to study and become bright, and a government is stopping them from studying by taking away life-saving laptops and online class for a whole year, that is not no joke. And when a prime minister is in charge of putting children to be hungry, that is not no joke. And when you have one man spending out all the money, calling other people thief, but one man in charge of everything and carrying a big bag, that is not no joke. So when a man asks me, but Anil, the man sick, why you don't forgive him? I say forgiveness is for God, not me. I is just a mere mortal. So let God discuss forgiveness with he. Because when you're wicked, I don't want to forgiveness. What is that? So let me tell you something. They say Rowley had COVID. First and foremost, me I know if to believe that, if not to believe that, if it have COVID, if it have COVID, if he take a test, if he had test, all you want me to believe that, show me the data, show me the swab, show me the analysis, show me the PCR, how we get the test so fast. I don't know, nor do I care. But what I can tell you is, there are many questions coming out of that. So who knows, he does lie so much, lie on Manning, lie on Emailgate, lie on Delcy visit, lie on the ambassador to USA, lie about Maduro, lie about Delcy Rodriguez, lie about Patriotic, lie to get into government, lie down the place of me, you know if he tests positive, there are all kind of things. One thing I know, he's a coward. I know he's selfish. I know he ain't care. I know he arrogant. And I know things that's roll from by hospital to by he. And building does go up in the sky when he friend on them day. And he does procure with small pin. I know them thing. So me I know if he test positive. That's not my business. However, what I would tell all you is, at this point in time, if he tests positive, how he tests positive, why he tests positive, where he tests positive, where is he now? So what happened in Tobago? Did he test positive? And was he in Tobago? So now let's ask the questions. Because where was he? Where was he, Lyman? He was playing golf in Mount Irving. All the big shots who play golf, all of them in quarantine. Are they allowed to come back to Trinidad? Is there now going to be an exemption policy for Tobago? To those who in Tobago stay there because you have our citizens outside, and the policy of Rowley is to keep people outside because they put those on the rock at risk. They put all of us at risk. So therefore, what is the policy now? Because wildness in Tobago, the same man who tests positive, who was buffing we and telling we irresponsible, Tobago now, if you trace he movements, What is the contact tracing? How many people he interact with? How long he have it? Go back 14 days. When did he contract it? You can't just take it from when you test positive. He could have gotten it 14 to 20 days before. Who he was in contact with? Where them is? Were they in Tobago? How many cabinet ministers was there? How many of them went home to their family? Understand the seriousness of the situation. Did he stay in Tobago or did they allow him to come back? How he come back? On an ambulance, helicopter, on a plane? Who was the army and security? What about the security forces who guard he? What about the people who cook for he? What about the golf and the men in the club? What about the ones who was drinking and knocking glass with he? What about if he had any meetings? All you now understand, we were one fool away from lockdown. Well, look, we find the fool. Vishnu, run video now. Run video.
Because it only takes the drop in the guard of a few people and the irresponsible conduct of a few people, maybe one or two parties, maybe one or two lines, to put us on a slope to go backwards. We are maybe one party away or one fool away from that. I prefer to err on the side of respecting the consequences because they are so grave.
A few moments later.
You have been warned. And that's where we are in Trinidad and Tobago today. You have been warned.
You have been warned. One fool away. Well, look how God don't sleep. One imps away, one dunce away, one arrogant clown away. Now let me tell you all something. For the last 12 months, this clown in that clown shirt has been lying to the population, has been pretending that he and his government that were incompetent for 4.5 years before were all of a sudden efficient and handling things, were aided and abetted by a media that was bought out, rented out, and wasting time. Them tell you that them handling it. Y'all could watch BBC, Al Jazeera, CNN, everything, all Fox, MSNBC, and you could see that we doing nonsense. We have no data. You have some clowns parading every day. One with a slick down and they say he's sexy man of the year, and them give him man of the year, and now you realize he's dunce of the year. And next one, I don't know if he's Heinz brother, but he had no Pomsi Terrace, but he as stupid as the next one, talking nonsense, talking about COVID-19 not coming from Venezuela, the borders not porous, the illegal immigrants, no infection from that, no testing, no contact tracing, no understanding, then coming to tell you it has spiked in Pinal and Paracpo and Cuba, but Movietong have 5,000 people without mask. Then this one now, Mr. Cough Cough, coming to buff we and stop and shout down at us and tell us that we are irresponsible, foolish, and dotish, while his attorney general hugging up man and shoo-shooing in the airs and holding hand and rubbing up together. And now they say he get it. Well, what all they want me to say? What all they want me to say? How he get he test so fast? Let me tell you something. A father or a mother who see about themselves better than they see about the children is a disgrace under God. When you see a mother looking put away, eyelash, makeup, high heel, nice outfit, oh God, smelling nice, best perfume, best weave, best thing, best wig, looking nice, manicure, pedicure, and she walking in the mall and she child barefoot in her rubber slippers and have a dress and she ponytail out here and she head mess up so and she look like she ain't bathed for a week. You know something wrong with that woman, ain't? Well, if you have a leader of a country who don't put nothing in place for his people, don't have no testing where people could go and get tests, rapid tests quick to know what's going on, contact tracing to protect people so that we don't take it home to kill we old people and we elderly and we grandparents. But where it come now, people waiting 14, 18, 19 days and can't get tests. Went in quarantine, come out quarantine, don't know what they test, whether they test and so on. But he get a test within 24 hours. Do we even have that capacity? I don't know. But here it is. If we have it, how come your leader, your guru, the daddy of the family, the daddy of the country, the leader supposed to protect all of us. He ensure he get eating. And fire burn all you. Man, woman, child, all you take all your time and suffer under the system that he propagates. And all you tell me, forgive he. Forgiveness is for God. Run the next video with that video after video. One fool away. Which one we have now? Run it.
What else? I've been at this podium for a year, pleading, beseeching people to be sensible. But you have to party. Because you somehow feel that you will party and have a wonderful time. And somebody else will catch the COVID and somebody else will be... It could easily be you.
A few moments later.
And some people in this country, unfortunately, like every other country I presume, believe that they are entitled to behave in a particular way because of who they are. I just told you. Excuse me.
Hey, let me tell you something. When you're an arrogant, lying clown, it's good. You carrying and talking down to people right through, attacking everybody, attacking man, woman, child, UNC, independent, candlelight movement, anybody that criticizes you and your government, you are attacking them in the most vile way, calling all of we irresponsible. How you get Mr. Responsible, Mr. Perfection, Mr. Honesty, Mr. Brilliance, Mr. Care about the people? You have suffered people outside of this country. People cannot come home. You put small pin to aggravate, attack you citizens in New York, across the board. Anybody who fight for citizens to come home, you keep them out. You tell lies on them. You use the power of the government to suppress people with an exemption policy that is oppressive. And now they want me feel empathy. Not this Douglar, not this bald-head Douglar. My mother tell me respect is earned. You don't just get respect because you have a position. Respect is earned. Care and love shown, care and love reciprocated. Arrogance, disdain, pain, separation. People, they can't get no money, can't get no, they lost in their house. They can't get no hamper. You're playing politics with hamper and all. Food for poor people, are you playing games with? But what was going on? You advertised for Tobago. Tobago is the place to be. The ferry. Tobago, go Tobago. So when you was dancing your left foot, right foot, THA election, flouting all the rules, your AG flouting the rules, PNM partying and winding up all over the place. You had the audacity to buff other people. Now, they say you get it. Well, all right, let me believe you. You get it. Run the advertisement now. Let me hear about Tobago. Yeah, that's what we ramp it up. That's what they was doing in Tobago. Because Rowley say Tobago, all go Tobago. Tobago, everybody went Tobago and went wild. Not a mask, nothing. Drinks flowing, hugging up, winding up. Pick up something, run it way, run video, man, other run video.
We were following the science and taking firm governmental decisions based on the advice of our health department. So today when you hear there isn't a single report of an infected person in Tobago, it is not by accident, it is by design of the staff and the government and the healthcare delivery in Tobago. Next week, the end of next week, we move into Easter. And of course, this is not an Easter. That the story is going to be the ferry. This is going to be an Easter where anybody who wants to go to Tobago can go and come back when you want. So you know what's happening now? Tobago is almost full and overflowing. The place to be is in Tobago. And I tell you, the best vacation you can have at home in Trinidad and Tobago is in Tobago. Go to Tobago if you want, but when you go there, behave yourself. Behave yourself. We are in a pandemic. Wear your mask. Stay away from crowds. No partying. And so on and so on. And you can have a wonderful Easter in Tobago. Nobody asking you to go to sea and bathe in a mask on your face. But when you come out of the water, before you go to anybody, put on your mask and everybody gonna be all right. And that, for me, is the success of the people of Trinidad and Tobago in whom the government places confidence.
I speechless, you know. Hey, run Tobago now. The man advertised, he said go Tobago, get Archie run thing, man. Look at Rowley Tobago, look at the leadership, look at Al-Rawi, look at it, man. Look what the man tell we go and do in Tobago. All of you, including Rowley, stay there with all your COVID, you know. No exemption, all you can't come back. Because that's the PNM policy. Run it.
A golden pen, a golden pen. Sign my name, sign my name. It's a golden anyway, we vote in PNM. Sign my name, it's a PNM pen, a PNM pen, a PNM pen. How are you sign my name? It's a PNM pen. We vote.
The place to be is in Tobago.
It had party man on man land. It had party with arms. And you, Mr. Dr. Rowley, you, Mr. Science, you, Mr. Best in the world, you, Mr. Number One, with no vaccine whatsoever. How you get the COVID if you follow the protocol and you distance and you space out and you didn't go to people and you didn't go no party and you didn't know how no lime and you didn't play golf and drink your scotch and eat shrimps with your boys and them? Where all the people you were in contact with, are they in quarantine? Have the police been given their numbers to check and addresses to check where they are? Have they been tested? Is the entire cabinet on quarantine lockdown? What is the contact tracing of you clown? They had more videos and all they check on social media about all the wildness and the dance up video. But when you come down, the COVID only goes where Rowley and them science say. So them feel to suppress you. They feel to deflect from the inefficiency and incompetence because everybody in the world now could see that we are dead last. We are the most inefficient government in the world. We are last in vaccine. Vaccine was the known solution to economic revival by everyone from the beginning. Before a lab rat start to dance, people knew the race will be on for vaccine. Vaccine, herd immunity. These were terms and phrases that became synonymous with returning to normalcy. The new normal then come back to create aggregate demand and get your economies going. We have no vaccine. 33,000 vaccine for 16,000 people, and one of them say, well, me I know if he, let me go with he positive, right? Some of them feel he could be afraid to, you see me, I don't know, because the man doesn't lie so much. He might be afraid to take the vaccine because they say it have blood clot. He might be afraid to take it because he know if he get any second shot, he had tell TTT and them, Tuesday was the day we had to film. I see the Alsing went and take vaccine. But the Alsing, you were in close contact to that man on every occasion, every press conference, every meeting, every discussion. How you rush to take vaccine when they say if you're positive or possible positive, you can't take the vaccine. So how the Alsing, how they so sure that they inject the Alsing today? You see, we don't know whether he really get it or he don't get it. But they just cry wolf and they just lie so much you don't know what to believe. So all you could believe what you want. But either way, it shows incompetence, it shows lack of empathy, lack of respect for the citizens, lack of care, arrogance and stupidity. Because if he attacking citizens and calling we dumb and irresponsible and foolish, and he end up being king fool, what say y'all now? Where we going? What video? No free pass. He said, let me tell you something. We don't use, the government has used all the money. Your money, you know. Your taxpayer money. But when you're suffering from arrogance mixed with hubris, mixed with staritis and clung and stupidity, all in one, you get a smorgasbord of dotishness, which is Keith Christopher Rowley. Not only his shirt looks stupid, and his socks look ridiculous, and his outfit look like he come from a clown circus that mash up in Mexico. This man, arrogantly attacking everybody. But he coughing down the place wrong. We teaching our children sneeze in here and do this. He coughing up on everybody. But run the clip, because he said, your money done. $18 billion. The Dwayne and them take the money. We ain't know where the money. We can't get no accounting for it. All you ain't get no grant, no rental assistance, no hamper, no food, no nothing. 28,000 children from school feeding left hungry for the last year. But them telling you, if it had lockdown again, one fool away from lockdown, it had no more money for you. Wean yourself off the government. Run it. Listen to him.
And today I want to appeal to the national population to not get tired. Do not become COVID weary.
We cross up there. All you run it over. You could run it over. I want to hear the man in the clown shirt, the man in the colonial shirt that we must wear for the colonial masters to put we in we place. Go now. That man went in a cupboard, choose that, put it on after he bathed and put on deodorant and look at himself in the mirror and go on in a press conference with that shirt.
I want to appeal to the national population to not get tired. Do not become COVID weary, because it only takes the drop in the guard of a few people and the irresponsible conduct of a few people, maybe one or two parties, maybe one or two lines, to put us on a slope to go backwards.
Man. I do not know what to say. And we in Trinidad and Tobago, regardless how much I stand up here, Vishnu go remind you, Vishnu was outside asking for exemption, but them know he's Douglar Politics, them leave he out till the end. And we were telling y'all, science is very simple. What Rowley and Convent Girl and Small Pin and the PNM was doing with COVID-19 was abject total nonsense. There was no testing, no rapid test kits, no contact tracing, no protocols in place. They didn't understand that nor did they care that the economic devastation from lockdown and so on would have greater adverse effects than the actual disease. We have come around a whole year and we are no better off. A set of talk and no action, no planning. Barbados receive a different set of vaccine already. Them reach about 240,000 vaccine for a population of 700,000. We are 1.3 million people and we get 33,000 vaccine that expiring. That expiring. That cannot even follow the protocols that them say we following. And this is the game. Now, Mr. Bajan, they say test positive. Where the PCR test? They was telling TTT, we are going to vaccinate on Tuesday. You have to get your crew out there. And Dr. Rowley will take it the first shot. And we want to go live and so on. They were so excited, so they said. But then he tests positive. But he get a positive test quick. How will he get our result so quick? So if he was so excited to film that he film, the other PNM parliamentarian say that in all seriousness. He was on TV6 and he bought well. When we went up there, they took a film. But this man was excited, the TTT staff, all the cameramen, everybody had to go across to Tobago to film he getting hijab. Not hijab, not Muslim, you know. His jab, his vaccination. So what happened? Did he really test positive? Who take the test in Tobago? who he was liming with? What about his family? All of them in quarantine? All of them on lockdown? Or is it different strokes for different folks? Like Dial Singh, daughter-in-law, who was the doctor, who was in the wedding. Remember that? Different strokes. Science ceased with PNM. So you could get infection and you have the science, and if you touch it, you get sick. But with PNM, it don't work so. Them just get contact with COVID and then go on plane and come back home and go and vote and go in election and wind up boomsy and no mask and then no spike. But it does have spike in penal. And that's where we reach in this country. And all of a sudden, people are now realizing that the PNM is totally bankrupt of ideas and Rowley is a total dishonest, incompetent clown with maybe COVID now. What video all you have there, Vishnu? All you have more thing? Run thing, man. Don't get that. The Douglar watching Rowley all evening. Rowley! Run it!
And today I want to
It's like a COVID. You ready now? Run the irresponsible PNM. Rowley, the buffer of us. The great majesty. Run it while them studying COVID and studying to raid the HSF. They giving their wife and family contract, rental and brief after brief. And buffing you and telling y'all irresponsible. But he tell everybody, go over to Tobago, 0 cases. The whole of Tobago bathed down with COVID now. Like the Kobo come and drop it. But what is that? Is everybody coming back from Tobago now to Trinidad? What is the policy? Oh, no change, no difference. Everybody go back on plane, go and sit down next to each other. 90% capacity on the Caribbean Airlines. When he and all get COVID, Mr. Special Boss Man, Kingmaker, Big Boy, Prime Minister, buffing people, COVID in the puffin. Run it.
And today I want to appeal to the national population to not get tired. Do not become COVID weary, because it only takes the drop in the guard of a few people and the irresponsible conduct of a few people, maybe 1 or 2 parties, maybe 1 or 2 lines, to put us on a slope to go backwards.
Everybody just do the balize. Everybody just do the balize. Right foot, balize. Left foot, balize. Everybody just do the balize. Right foot, balize. Left foot, balize. Everybody just do the balize. Everybody just do the balize. Right foot, balize. Left foot, balize. Everybody just do the balize.
And the irresponsible conduct of a few people, maybe 1 or 2 parties, maybe 1 or 2 lines, to put us on a slope to go backwards.
Why didn't it have donkey with voice, with vibes, with voice? It had donkey in the party too. Oh God! Yes! So Faris, you went and give Rowley COVID then, boy. Or you hug up, man. Or you hug up, or you take temperature, or you love up, or you shake up, or you sweat up together, man on man, man by man, man with man, man on man, all very good. While we get involved, we had to wear masks, we had to stay, we got touch, we had to elbow, all of that gone, boy, with your 1 shot self. You're going with the same shot, you let Rowley the shot out and it had COVID on it. Very good. We going again? Yeah, more thing. But all Vishnu, all the run thing now, man.
We are not illiterate. We are well schooled, and we should understand where our interests lie, not just at the national level, but at the personal level. And let me just say this: it would be a hell of a burden to carry through your life If you really believe that the member of your family that caught COVID and died is because you, whoever you are, went to a party somewhere or to a bar somewhere and carried home to them as a result of your irresponsible conduct. Because the statistics have shown that most people who have got infected by friends, family, and associates. Not just walking through and meeting John public. The people that you are closest to, the best chance of infecting, you spend more time with them and you sometimes are closer to them. And if you are the carrier that brought it into your household, resulting in death or hospitalization of a person, then that is a burden that you'll have to carry at the personal level, and I'm sure you don't want to carry that.
So who brought it to you? Who is carrying the burden of bringing the COVID-19 and handing it to you, pretty shirt? Who? Is it Al-Rawi and his arm wrestling, man hugging, spit swapping, donkey braying activity? Or is it from playing golf and liming and partying in Tobago? Was it the roast pork lime? A few cabinet members, you all were there in Tobago? Huh? Everybody going to test now? Everybody do the balize. Left nostril, right nostril.
Everybody just do the balancing. Everybody just do the balancing. Right foot, left foot. Everybody just do.
No education, no sport investment, no foreign direct investment, no jobs, no sea bridge until now. Economic devastation, no grants, means tests for laptops and tablets, no school, no vaccine, no foreign direct investment, no US foreign exchange, no independent central bank, no independent institutions, no procurement legislation, no investment and diversification in the economy, no healthcare, no Panadol in plastic, no good smooth road. They're trying now to pave by Crystal Stream. Simon D. Nosebreaker, and he'll go run your constituency by blowing you out. Simon D. Nosebreaker, you pave a little piece of 400 meters of road. You have about 40 kilometers in Dago Martin that killing people, people dodging pothole and crashing the car every day. Total collapse under the PNM. And now, left swab, right swab, deep up in your nasal cavity with this PNM. But the media told you all that that bag of clowns in an election year was doing so great with COVID. They did nonsense for 4 years. Collapse the economy, take away the fuel subsidy, mash up everything. Corruption galore, no corporate governance, one man spending all the money, plenty people on multiple boards, no evaluation committee, ministers procuring, and you all and the media said, them Indian thief. And now look where it is. So let me put his statement and his words to him. We were at 8 deaths for a sustained period of over 3.5 months. 116 positive cases, do you all recall? The borders were shut down, the only country in the world that refused to repatriate citizens. Oppression and suppression of constitutional rights. But the porous borders, COVID was flowing in through illegal immigration. They say they register 16,600. Everybody who lives here in Trinidad and Tobago knows every day 500 to 800 more Venezuelans have arrived through the porous borders. no Coast Guard, one vessel, no vessel lie about Damon engineers, no air guard, no helicopter, radar not functioning, no army camps, no extra security, but citizens lock outside. They have to know Jelani or Small Pin, or Small Pin on Jelani. One of the two or two. You have to know that. If you don't know that, you stay outside. And now COVID ravaging all over Trinidad and Tobago. Total confusion, total chaos, not a clue. Economic stagnation with inflation, stagflation. Do you know how stupid you have to be to get all of this perfect storm of incompetence? All you have more video there, or we run out? All you have thing there, Archie? If all you had thing, run thing. Let people know. You vote Indian versus African. Never mind all of we is red, white, and black. Never mind all of we didn't see. We flag upside down when we play Puerto Rico. But all you let these people tell you, don't vote for competence. Don't vote for brain. Don't vote for qualification. Don't vote for heart and soul. Don't vote for policy. Vote on who look like who. That's what we get. That's what we get. And on top of that, they book we. And now we in a total and complete mess. Are you ready? Run it, man. Run video for them.
If we find ourselves in a situation where the action that is required to confront an outbreak are the actions that we had to do in early 2020, the consequences will be personally for you very serious. One, there would be no resources to provide a government bailout. So those of you who know who you are, the many tens of thousands of you who received a government check, and all of you kept very quiet when you got it. The handful of people who didn't get it made a lot of noise. But those of you, the tens of thousands of you who received a government check, I'm putting you on notice now. If we, as a population, find ourselves back in that situation, where those are the decisions to be made and the actions to be taken, there are no resources to hand out checks like that. If you are in the business community, and you are one of those who got a government check as any part of the response, whether it was a VAT refund, whether it was support for your business and so on, the resources have been used up. If it is that you relied very heavily on a government food box that we gave out, tens of thousands of those that came to your household, you know who you are and you know what you got. It was not free, it was paid for by the government. You know who you are and you know what you got. It was not free, it was paid for by the government.
Yes. So you, all of you, left foot, right foot, Palisade, if you got a little food hamper valued at $400, or you got a little food card, or you got, some of you all got your $1,500 a month for 3 months, even though you were locked down for 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 months, or you lost your work a full year, that man is telling you, fire burn you. He pay for all you already, that's enough for all you. But his attorney general who sits at his right hand could get 23 million in government check. Each month he does get a 300,000 or whatever is his rent per month. Each time he could get a check. And then that's not enough. His building ain't finished. His building is just concrete. His attorney general could get a check for $18 million to outfit his building of your money, the taxpayer money, as he described it, the government money. And then Al-Rawi, his attorney general, could also get approved for next 20 million to outfit the building so that the government could rent the building from the government. Yes, but not you. You, taxpayer, you hungry. Your children belly griping. Husband lost work. Mommy lost work. No laptop. No medicine. No grant. You can't get nothing else. Them spend out your money. But when they say that $18 billion them spend, all the grant that they say, even if I pretend that everybody get, let me pretend them as honest people like Mother Teresa. If you add up all that they say they give, it don't cross $500 million. But they spend $18 billion. So $17.5 billion short. Some of y'all don't know. You're like, we just say billion so easy. A lot of y'all like to go and play lotto. When lotto reach $1 million, you go and you take a choke. How much for lotto? No, $5 for a chance, $10 million, no, right? You take a chance. Well, let me tell you something. For you to reach $1 billion, you who play in lotto 20 years and you ain't win yet. When you win the lotto $1 million, you have to win that same lotto 999 more times for it to equal when you have your one win $1 billion. Them 17.5 billion short and discussing in that thing with arrogance. If you get VAT refunds is your money. You pay a VAT, your businesses pay a VAT, you're supposed to get back your refund. It has nothing to do with Heritage and Stabilization Fund. It has nothing to do with COVID. It has nothing to do with the government. That's your money. That arrogant clown, that fool, because he said it. He said it. Don't say Anil called the man a fool. But you could say that. He's a fool. Right? Say it, don't worry. But he called himself a fool because he said, and I quote, we are one fool away from another lockdown, which is economic devastation and depression. The only people who benefit from lockdown is he, because he gets to control all of us, all our money, do with it as they please, and we have nothing to say. And all you're talking about defending that nonsense. Run a video.
Because it only takes the drop in the guard of a few people and the irresponsible conduct of a few people, maybe one or two parties, maybe one or two lines, to put us on a slope to go backwards. We are maybe one party away or one fool away from that. I prefer to err on the side of respecting the consequences because they are so grave.
A few moments later.
You have been warned. And that is where we are in Trinidad and Tobago today. You have been warned.
Excellent. You all have been warned. We coming back.
Douglar Politics, we don't get no kicks. Trinidad and Tobago, do we have this thing out to fix? We coming with facts, cut them down like axe. Every kid and race finally got places love to the max. And when we tell them, Anil, Douglar Politics, this is Douglar Politics, yo. Douglar Politics, listen, Douglar Politics, yeah. Douglar Politics, this is Douglar Politics, yeah. Douglar Politics, this is Douglar Politics.
Anil is zero race talk, zero idiotic talk. I deal with facts and information.
Back with girl, let's stick there. But let's get into it now, because it's amazing that the newspapers continue to try to give Rowley and his incompetent band of waste at times a blight. The Express, who has been very fair, it must be said, since October last year, the Express opinion on the 6th of the 4th, that's today, says, the Express editorial, D-Day for vaccine rollout. There is no question here about the need for this exercise to be made to run at maximum efficiency. There is no room for human error or mishaps. Well, we passed that stage. We've already had human error, human incompetence. We are delayed. We are behind already. So to even pretend that there is some rollout now, rollout cannot be such a low, small percentage of vaccines that have there's no positive effect to such a little number. That and nothing is the same thing. But you all are pretending vaccines are a very simple thing. We need a certain number, end of story. Tell us how we get it, when we get it, and how we reaching that number. Don't tell me about your rollout, fallout. It's not a little baby gymnastic class. They said the only issue now would seem to be the date for the arrival of the next batch. Exactly. There is no date for the arrival of the next batch. And what is that batch? And when even with the Kamla 40,000 from India, from the High Commissioner, that he said he got the letter, he passed it on to Modi, and it reached, that Rowley didn't ask for. Even with that 40,000, even with the next 67,000 that's supposed to come from COVAX by May, we in April, even if, but me I know who taking that Chinese vaccine, but they say they have 100,000 of that coming. Well, line up by Balize House, the only building going up in town, tall skyscraper, is Balize House, you know. The whole country shutting down, crumbling. Down in Westmoreland, it have them fancy condominiums that's normally like 30,000 per month in rent. Them offering it for 14,000 and thing. People, the economy collapse, real estate collapse, business collapse, shutdown collapse. Everybody out of stock. Burger King have no nuggets. Everybody just working on what they could do and what, because they can't get the imports in. The Assecuda system not working. Call me but lying in the parliament and body is working flawless. They continue. Dr. Roshan Parashram said, would determine whether this first phase will make use of all the doses. So he is determining, with expiration date on the horizon, whether he is going to use all of the vaccine now, or whether they were going to follow the protocol that they were saying all the time. Trinidad and Tobago's next best bet might be the African Medical Supplies Platform, AMSP. The chairman of Jamaica's National Health Fund announced last Wednesday that 75,000 vaccine coming from the African Medical Supply. So Jamaica get from India 55,000. They get in from Africa 75,000. They get 100,000 from COVAX. So Jamaica well on the way, Barbados well on the way, Grenada well on the way, St. Kitts well on the way, Antigua well on the way, everybody well on the way. Actually, I have a graph there of vaccination. I sent it there. Vishnu already check it, and the monitor went off here on the TV, so I don't know what's going on there. But check, do you all see the graph of CARICOM? Put it up for the people. And all you look nice, it come up there. Look for your country, look for your beloved Trinidad and Tobago for me. Where else at the top there? Who up there? Cayman Islands and Bermuda. Who's that? Turks and Caicos, Anguilla, Puerto Rico, Antigua, Barbuda, St. Eustatius. And this is percentage of population vaccinated by country. Hey, look, US with Montserrat. Montserrat didn't have volcano and thing. Montserrat at 24%. Dominica, Bonaire, British Virgin Islands, Barbados. Where's my country? Where's my Trinidad and Tobago? Oh Lord, look, Curacao, 10%. Grenada, 10%. Dominican Republic, Dominicana, República Dominicana, St. Barthélemy, Guadeloupe, 6%. Belize, 6%. Suriname, 5%. St. Martin that just get devastated by hurricane 2 years ago. Where my people, boy? But if this was a fed, we'd have said, where my people? Where my people? Oh, go down. Martinique 1, but oh Lord. Trinidad and Tobago, 0%. Haiti, 0%. Haiti that suffer from devastation, economic collapse, oppressive governments, earthquake, hurricane. Trinidad and Tobago, 0%. But we number one. And then Newsday editorial, imagine Newsday now realizing, Judy Raymond, you know, me I know if she don't like what Rowley giving again, maybe it's COVID, maybe the COVID swab are working. But Judy Raymond now realizing and letting the population know Newsday, like everybody getting back to journalistic principles now that election done. The Newsday now realize that Rowley and them incompetent. Today's editorial, Tuesday, April 6, page 12. How did Trinidad and Tobago move from being ranked among the best of responders to COVID-19 to being one of the worst of countries? Now, even though they're going to print the truth, you see how they still have to hold on to the lingering lie that we were somehow one of the best in the world at handling COVID. We were never good at handling COVID. We were the worst from the onset. We were not testing. We did not have test kits. We did not have contact tracing. We did not have enough data to create a curve, far less to flatten it. We were not monitoring. We were not noticing. We did not have information. We were playing games. We were oppressing citizens and keeping them locked out. We were the worst. But the Newsday has to sort of justify their one-year position of promoting and propagating the lie that Rowley and them was good in order to move them into an election on August 10, 2020. They still have to stick that, even though they realize now all of us are in grave danger. So how did TNT move from being ranked among the best of responders to COVID-19 to being one of the worst of countries, if not the worst in the region with regard to vaccination? So Judy Raymond and the Newsday somehow now wake up in April 2021 and know the truth that Rowley is totally incompetent. The very date of today's launch is a reminder of just how flat-footed the state's effort have appeared. This is Rowley and Rice. This is Newsday. This is the bastion of Rowley's K-Pax. Newsday continued. In this regard, we are running far behind several of our CARICOM neighbors. Antigua and Barbuda has vaccinated 27 out of 100 members of the population. Dominica and Barbados, 21%. St. Kitts and Nevis, 16 out of 100. St. Lucia, 12 out of 100. Up to yesterday, this country had covered 0.1 of a person, 1/10 of a person out of 100, or 991 people out of 1.3 million. The Newsday now is talking the truth about the inefficiency, the incompetence and dangerous, corrupt policy of the PNM that has all of us, whether you vote Balisi or not, in grave danger. Here the Guardian, normally the guardian of Rowley's K-Pax, even when Rowley and Dialsing call Ansa Makal, Franco men liars, them still try to shine the K-Pax, right? Let's see what they wrote. The sad reality, says the Guardian, page 12, Tuesday, today. The sad reality is that from the get-go on the vaccine issue, it's been a hit and miss approach. taken by local authorities. Not by local authorities, by the PNM, by Rowley, by Convent Girl, by Small Pin, by the PNM. Local authorities, with a local government, is a corporation, what it is Parsham, what it is the health officials. The Guardian, you all are sick. You is in the face of truth, you still trying to obfuscate, and it is so disgusting. Perhaps they were so overjoyed by international praise of this country's handling of the COVID-19 virus. Which international praise? Two dotish Oxford students who never come here, didn't know nothing about implementation, read what two people say and come to a conclusion from quite out there in England. That's international recognition. Our next one from Gebre Jesus, who just finished talking to Rowley, listen to Rowley, Rowley make a speech, and then Gebre Jesus playing politics like a diplomat and licking K-Packs with no data, no research, no information, just talking on what a man tell he. And that is international acclamation. Okay. So although we have not been hearing that TNT, with the handling of the COVID virus, that vaccines may have been the last thing on anyone's minds. So the Guardian is saying that Rowley and them was doing so good with the COVID-19 that, you know what? They were doing so good they didn't need vaccine. Wow, Guardian. Wow, that's an amazing one. That, I mean, all you really dig deep to make that leap of logic. That we were doing so good in COVID. That vaccines. What vaccine? Who need vaccine? Forget vaccine. Guardian, I must say, I give you all 10 out of 10 for creative thought. You all could write a movie. Go to 20th Century Fox. So although we have been hearing that TNT had got on the vaccine train since September last year, it seems that other countries were well ahead of us. Our CARICOM neighbors, some of whom have already vaccinated tens of thousands of citizens compared to Trinidad and Tobago. So all you're now sticking in the truth. Health officials have spent months in the public space. See how they leave the PNM out of this, you know? Health officials. We all know in our face for the last year is PNM, Rowley, Convent Girl, Small Pin, Rowley, Convent Girl, Small Pin, with a Heinz and a Paraswam, who's Balize, all up in the K-Packs. But them now, Guardian saying, oh, the health authorities, no, the government is not responsible now that everybody knows we are the worst. Health officials have spent months in the public space about preparation for the fight against the disease and the vaccines. Minister Dialsing, Chief Medical Officer et al., but are yet to produce a workable vaccination plan. So you now realize that, Guardian, we never had a COVID-19 plan. We never had a data plan. We never had a contact tracing. We never had testing. We never had testing, rapid testing. We were told to put jersey and make masks. We were told that masks are irrelevant. We were told everything that was wrong. And somehow you all told us that we were the best. But at even 1,000 doses per day, if the entire vaccine eligible population was to be inoculated, it would take over 4 years. That's the Guardian. It's not Anil, it's not the UNC, it's not Kamla, it's not Dr. Lakram Bodo, it's not Tim Gopi Singh, it's not Fuad Khan. There's the Guardian of Rowley's K-Packs and the Newsday. Let us read something. Because we are now seeing that Gary Griffith and others are saying that COVID-19 is walking across from Venezuela, swimming across, coming in pirogues. Illegal migrants are flooding into this country like never before. From since last year. With lockdown airport, lockdown ports. But illegal migration never ceased. In fact, it increased. But look at this now. Let me tell you all this. In Aruba, 16% of the total population of the island of Aruba, 106,000 inhabitants, is made up of Venezuelan migrants. That's Aruba. Small Aruba. 106,000. How much we have here? You already feel we have 16,000? We have 16,000 on the avenue alone. A survey shows now businesses hit hard by economic downturn. On this Douglar Politics show, we have been telling you all from the beginning. And I get a headache trying to explain. COVID-19 pandemic presented two threats. The health threat, the health risk, and the economic risk. The greater of the two evils was always going to be economic devastation if you did not have a government who understood science and who would do everything to create hybrid situations to keep the domestic economy churning, create and maintain jobs, create economic activity domestically, keep our elderly safe, and get the population churning. Those who will just go into dum-dum lockdown will suffer for years to come. We have gone down into dum-dum lockdown, dum-dum take we savings, dum-dum buff we up, dum-dum ass arm wrestling, dum-dum right through. Survey shows businesses hit hard by economic downturn. Remember before the election, these surveys in this newspaper like the Chamber of Industry and Commerce and so on, Gabriel Faria and them pay for survey, and remember, survey said P&M doing great on COVID. Survey said businesses doing great, everything is good with COVID. Remember June, July, August last year, survey said COVID being handled well. Here survey now, election done, right? According to a recent survey conducted by Digicel Business, 20% of businesses are struggling to pay their suppliers. 29% of businesses are facing difficulties when requesting payment from their customers. On average, the survey also noted more than a third of businesses are looking at a 40% plus hit on revenue. How many businesses can survive a 40% hit on revenue? While 74% are seeing a negative impact on turnover rates due to COVID-19. All of a sudden, the truth comes out. We're moving along. Clarence Rambarat says, Rudy Indasing out of touch. Agriculture Minister Clarence Rambarat, aka Pepper more deadly than gun, on Saturday described Couva South MP Rudynath Indasing as being completely out of touch with reality when the opposition MP claimed government was trying to take away lands offered to former Caroni workers. But you said so. You said Planter is gone. Furthermore, what's going on with Damien's Bay, with Ainsley Green and Nikwan? Nikwan, where the wax? All the hiding wax? I hear it at Madame Toureux. You could get wax statue in Nikwan. You could go and see Mighty Sparrow, Shadow, Kitchener, Blakey. They have wax to make wax figurine. If they're making nothing else in Nikwan, Ainsley Gill, what? P&M boy. Out of touch, says Clarence Rambarat. The man who said pepper spray, that's why Khadija tell him, why you don't take the pepper spray and shoot it in your left eye? Take a gun and shoot it in your right eye and tell she which one more deadly. Clarence, try that experiment now. God, the Douglar would like to hear the scientific results of that experiment on yourself. The man said doubles not local. And he is booted, boys. He and Faris Al-Rawi and Rowley does lime with booted. If all you know who's booted, all you're talking all kind of thing, go and ask Clarence who is booted. Tobago election bill, still not law. So they come and rush me in the Senate to pass the THA bill to instruct the EBC to go to 15 seats, even though the EBC is an independent institution and takes instructions from nobody. The EBC is supposed to utilize their equation to ensure that seats in Trinidad and Tobago work through whatever method they use. They are not to take any instruction from UNC, P&M, nor anybody. Totally independent. They come and they go on, they get a one vote to pass the bill. So 15 seats for election. A month gone, that they proclaim yet. Why? Money spending, people getting hired, PNM still in control of the Treasury in Tobago, PNM still controlling the money, PNM still spending. So now they just delay. They come with a big furor and Russia. They call Wade Mark and say, Senate, we have to get this done quickly. It's so urgent. A whole month gone. PNM spending money unchecked and nothing happened yet. Guardian, what's the plan? The key to saving lives of Trinidad and Tobago citizens, rescuing our economy and returning the sense of normalcy lies in a handful of vaccines developed to fight the COVID-19. That is why countries around the world are sparing no expense and wasting no time in getting vaccines into the arms of their citizens. For Trinbagonians, vaccines cannot come soon enough. The coronavirus has taken lives of 145 citizens. Remember, we were at 8 for such a long time before election. But after, during and after election, 137 more people have died. And Rowley is saying, if whoever took that virus home to the person, that burden that you carry, what about the burden that a leader would carry for keeping the borders open and keeping the economy shattered, locking down, and the incompetence of decisions that have forced people to starve, that people are locked out of the country, that people are in pain, that 137 people have died, more are getting infected. The entire future savings of our country for our children is gone. What about a person who carried that burden? But you see, that person might be pathological. That person don't care about nobody. So that person have no conscience. So that person feels nothing. So don't ask me to forgive. Forgiveness is for God. For Trinbagonians, vaccines cannot come soon enough. Only on Friday, health officials reported that the virus was again spreading. Acquiring vaccines to achieve so-called herd immunity is the only reprieve. When are we going to get herd immunity? Herd immunity is 70 to 80% of the population, the adult population. That's 1 million people. So the question is, when will we get 2 million doses of vaccine? That's the question. You have a video? Run video now, man.
Thank you very much, Laurel. Thanks for COVID. It reached the point where the Blavatnik School of Government, which is a school of Oxford University, one of the top universities of the world, judged Trinidad and Tobago #1 in the world to come out from its lockdown because of the leadership of this man to my right here. But let me tell you what it means. They look at countries and they assess you on certain parameters with a maximum score of 1. We got 0.8 for testing, tracing, and isolation. 0.8 out of 1 is fabulous. Eh? We got 0.9 for community understanding, the way Dr. Rowley led us in talking to the people, in communicating to the people. And I have to thank my colleague again, Senator Cox, who was by my side for all these press conferences. But we scored a perfect 10 or a perfect 1 in this area, management of imported cases and control. Listen to that. The way we managed how cases came into the country, how we controlled it, Trinidad and Tobago got a perfect score of 1. Do you want that to continue, or do you want someone who promised to just open the borders, open the bars, take you to court because a rum shop closed? That is what you want? You are going to risk the future of Trinidad and Tobago on that? COVID-19 taught us a lot of things, but it taught us about the mettle of the man called Dr. Keith Christopher Rowley. He deserves a second chance because COVID ain't finishing on August the 10th. Eh? On August the 10th, when you wake up on August 11th, COVID is still around there. August the 12th, COVID is still around there. But those who want to unseat this government are telling you, open the borders. No problem. Open the bars. No problem. It is the sunshine that will save you.
Perfect score for managing the borders by keeping citizens out of the country who born here. Managing the borders, who gave that score? Them was in Chagaramas when Venezuelan coming across off fishing boat 13 at 14 boat per day at 20 Venezuelan going in Masistas. Them was in the 149 porous areas down in Cedros, Icacas, down in Los Iros. Them around the borders would see no helicopter, no radar, no Coast Guard vessel. Them around the border when illegal immigrants coming across and not one swab in, not one nose and not one piece of data, and we's number one, and all you believe that? It is very sad when a dunce clown like that could get up on a platform and lie to you and you believe that. And some of y'all very intelligent people I had conversations with back then trying to explain to you that we had no data. They say we had 0.8 out of 1 or whatever score for testing. Back then, out of a population of 1.39 million, we had only tested 3,700 people. So them say. And you all believe that. And we continue to see the games with the media. I leave you tonight as there is total and complete COVID chaos in Trinidad and Tobago. They don't know what to do now. They tell you go to Tobago and wild up. Party, line, music, zest, left foot, right foot, no mask, rolling in, rolling, get COVID, no vaccine, no money, no heritage and stabilization, nothing. People dead in. But everybody in Tobago now jumping on plane and coming Trinidad. Great policy. But all the time citizens lock out. Can't come home. Not even on the Paho. Only certain hotel of friend and family financier. Them you could go there. But man with business getting foreigner to come in. Exemption to work in the plant. Man dog come in. Man went and come back. But now total chaos, as stated by Keith Christopher Rowley. We one fool away from lockdown. My question is, what happens now that we know that the fool is you, Rowley? What happens now? The Newsday still, Sunday Newsday, April 4th, Easter Sunday. Judy Raymond prints a page, front page, with the hope of the Christian community, the most powerful, important holiday. Judy Raymond used that to try and uplift and promote Rowley, you know. This is how shameless this is. Don't feel analyzed, you know, look at the Newsday. Hope despite COVID-19, despair. So despite all the negatives, all the incompetence, all the separation, despite us being last, despite all the job loss, despite the illegal immigrants, despite the effects of COVID ravaging the economy, no forex businesses shutting down, people can't pay their workers, crime on the rise. Judy Raymond prints, hope despite COVID-19 despair. Then puts a picture. Oh yes, look how sweet and loving this grandpa look. Oh my goodness, just get the children to bounce on his knee. He's such a humane person, eh, Judy Raymond? Something he have that you like, you know, that Kamala can't give you. I don't know what it is. I don't know what it is he have that Kamala just don't have. The Prime Minister appealed to the population not to despair in the darkness caused by the COVID-19 pandemic, because hope is on the horizon. Dr. Rowley, who will be among those vaccinated on Tuesday. Among those vaccinated on Tuesday when the government rolls out phase 1 of its COVID-19 phase 1, Well, the only phase we know is phase 2. Woman on the base, play sweet pan Bugsy. He observed that many people have doubts that Trinidad and Tobago will ever overcome the challenges before us. Exactly, not doubts. People are certain that your incompetence has leveled Trinidad and Tobago in the worst economic position we have ever been in. So, Vishnu, I want a video to just take me out now. Take me out of Douglar Politics with a lovely video of this intelligent, brilliant, amazing human being that I just feel to arm wrestle and hug up with, and anyone, whichever one, because y'all my people, this is the government that we put, whether by cheating, gerrymandering, race voting, stupidity, dunsting, believing nonsense, newspapers lying to us. We put this bag of clown in charge of we. Lord, help us. Vishnu, run it. I go.
Because it only takes the drop in the guard of a few people and the irresponsible conduct of a few people, maybe 1 or 2 parties, maybe 1 or 2 lines, to put us on a slope to go backwards. We are maybe 1 party away or 1 fool away from that. I prefer to err on the side of respecting the consequences because they are so grave.
A few moments later.
You have been warned. And that is where we are in Trinidad and Tobago today. You have been warned.